Welcome to Strictly Busyness, a podcast dedicated directly for entrepreneurs, salesmen, hustlers, and dreamers. I'm your host, Benjamin Hall, and first I want to start out by thanking you for your support on last week's episode, episode 3. We had all kinds of listeners commenting and engaging in the conversation. It was a great conversation. We sparked up a conversation about NFTs, cryptocurrency, all kinds of stuff, man. You guys should check it out. Link in the description below. This week on Strictly Busyness, we're going to be answering a question from one of our fans. This one comes from my buddy Robert Van Egman in Pueblo West, Colorado. Robert asks, should people look into going into business school or do it on your own and learn what you want? Do it on your own, and learn what you want to learn in your own way for your business. Robert, first of all, I want to thank you for listening and supporting the podcast, brother. I think it's an excellent question. I'm very excited to speak on this subject. One thing I want to throw out there completely is my personal viewpoint before I continue any further. I don't believe that in society to be productive and successful and especially happy, you need a college degree, right? Let alone any verification for that matter. I'm not against college. I think if there's something you want to learn, example like medical, maybe music, computers, number management, I think there's a lot of different professors that can change your life and change your perspective. However, I do believe that college has been pushed and shoved and forced down the throats of our youth, and it's been deceived as the only way to become successful, right? One of the greatest entrepreneurs of our time, Robert, his name was actually Robert as well. Robert Kiyosaki once said in an interview I saw, I'm going to try and find the link and provide it in the description below. I've been looking for it. It's kind of a hard video to find, old video, but look him up, guys. He does entrepreneur motivational speeches, and other stuff like that. He's a really great guy. But like I said, he once said in an interview that school was a system for our parents to go to work and pay taxes, right? So that way we would be safe and sound and babysat. Otherwise, our parents would never be able to join the workforce. They would just always be at home parenting. So if you think about that for a second, he's saying that school is so you have a place to go while your parents can go to work for the government. Maybe they won't work for the government literally, but pay taxes at least, right? And that perspective blew my mind. There's a lot of different perspectives with it, and it's crazy to think of it like school's free in the United States, almost illegal not to go to school. So it could be a possibility, right? But I think the greater question is whether going through school will benefit you with profit in the long run, right, Robert? So I wanted to share this little fact with you. In the United States, student debt has grown significantly over the past several decades, and the Federal Reserve estimates that in quarter 2 of 2021, Americans owed a startling $1.73 trillion in student loans. Now, that is something all high schoolers and college students should receive more education on. If you think about that number, 1.73, these student loans last a long time, and it's almost a hole that's hard to crawl out of, right? And if you don't land the perfect position right out of graduation, you're almost screwed. And according to Forbes.com, more than 1 million students drop out of college every year, and 3/4 of college dropouts are first-generation college students. So the numbers don't lie, man. And I think if numbers were looked at more in a numerical sense rather than with so much pressure, like, oh my God, I'm not going to be successful, and worry, people would understand that there's other ways to become successful. And success always isn't just in the books, right? But it is in a way, right? I've known a lot of successful people that have gone to college that are way high up and successful, and that's what I wanted to say. Now I want to offer a rebuttal. I think, like I said earlier, lots of professors may have knowledge that could literally change your life or your business, right? I mean, you could walk in there on the first day and your business could be completely changed. But again, I know some of you have seen the TikToks, right? People buying college books off Amazon for $300 and learning everything that college kids are learning. And, and I get it. You're not getting the same hands-on experience, maybe, you're not getting the same, relationship with your professor or learning the side things that he's going to tell you, right? Or she's going to tell you. But it just goes to show, like, you could literally learn, coding, for example, off a book from Amazon, the same way you could learn it in a class if you just applied that thinking, right? And I think genuinely, Robert, if you want to be an owner of a company, there's no better way to become one than just to go full force into the business. Let the business be your college, right? But like I said, there's always an area in college that can teach you in which you can become a master for you and your business. For example, like finance or accounting. You could take a college class on that, or maybe even just like I don't know what those little schools are called, but they're like side schools. But you could take like a little class on that and learn about money, and you could be way better with money than you would have been if you wouldn't have done that, right? So my final answer would be I don't think it's 100% necessary to operate a successful business that you would need college. No. I do think there's always hidden information in every aspect of the world, but like your question states, Robert, me personally, I would be more focused on learning myself. If you think of it numerical, like I said, you could think, okay, I'll spend 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for about 40 weeks a year on average. We'll just say 40. let's see, for 4 years minimum, that's like 6,500 hours that you could have spent on your business. And if your business profited an average of what, $10 an hour, let's just say 10 to make it nice and easy, the bottom number, right? $10 an hour was great back in like 2010, but let's just say you wouldn't have made $10 an hour. You would have made $65,000 not going to college. You know what I mean? Just off your business. But like I said, it's all about perspective. And I'll leave everyone with this piece of advice. I do not think going to college is the only way to become successful, happy, or even wealthy. If you go to college to expand your mind, I would go to learn, because learning is priceless. There's no other price tag you could put on learning, besides the mind itself, right? So thank you for your question, Robert, and thank you, Strictly community, for listening and keeping up with our episodes. If you want a chance to be in next week's episode, don't be afraid to ask us a question down below or just leave us a comment. Let us know how you enjoyed it. We want this to be an interactive and educational podcast for anyone to join in, anyone to learn about business, entrepreneurship, salesmen, hustling, anything. If you enjoyed today's episode, hit that like button or subscribe to stay updated. If you have some time, show your friends by sharing the video below. It helps us keep creating, free content, and we wouldn't be here without you guys. We love you, and we'll see you next Sunday for episode 5 of Strictly Busyness, 12 p.m. Mountain Time. So set your alarm clocks, do whatever you got to do, and remember to stay busy. Thank you for listening. Strictly Busyness, episode 5 is going to be next Sunday at 12 p.m. Mountain Time. Make sure you stay tuned. We know this episode was a little shorter than most. We know you guys are busy. So we want to say stay busy, and we love you, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.